Right. Hello, everyone. Can you hear me properly? And also, can you see me properly? Yes, you do. All right. The elevator sound, I'm not responsible. This is from Discord. I was supposed to be the sound on the trailer because the music is pretty epic. But I slapped my OBS setup this afternoon, so you'll excuse me if it's not the best. So this is still ramping up to about 200 people. I'm pretty happy about that. On 400 people saying that they could be here. I'm not expecting everyone to be, but 200 is pretty good. Request to speak, not for now, please. It will. I'll take a little bit. I'll take some questions later on. And if you want to ask questions, so there is Revim that is here in the channel. There's Lamis. There's a lot of people you know well. They're here to answer your questions if you have a quick question in there. If anything is cool to be addressed during this stream, I'll do it with my voice. I can actually show you stuff. So that's going to be cool. So if you have questions, ask them here. Rivim's going to take note of it, and she's going to organize so the questions, if it's the same question asked twice or three times and stuff like this, it's going to be aggregated. And yeah, I think that's it. So what I'm going to show you is the state of the beta right now. So you're going to see the beta that's going to be out soon. So what I'm not going to do today is tell you a date on the beta. I'm sorry if I'm breaking your dreams right now. But we don't have a date. We don't have a specific date yet. It's going to be soon. So some people have been, I'm not sure if I should say this. I'm going to do a lot of that. Like I'm not sure if I should. And I'm going to check the chat if Vince will call me out and tell me like, don't do it. So pressing T, stuff like this, so anyway, I will try to. I lost. What should I say? Oh yeah. So the website is back up, back online. So the website is good. We should have the accounts sent your way. So basically, you'll receive an email. So chill out, everyone. I'll say that in it. So it's so the website is very slow because it just got back up. Yeah, there's nothing to see really over there. It's there's nothing to do. But soon you'll receive an email, and in this email you'll receive instructions to create your NUG account. It doesn't mean that you'll have access to Menyr beta just yet. It just means that we are going forward with the accounts. So the first email you'll receive, you're going to be excited. It's not the beta yet, but it's very soon. So it's going to be your accounts being made. Did the stream die? Did the stream die, or just me? Just you? Okay, because I'm kind of reading the chat. It's okay right now. It's not going too fast. We're good. Don't hesitate to tell me if something goes wrong on my end. Obviously. So yeah, this is coming soon. Like we said, we're still aiming for end of June. It's still very, very highly possible, but there's a chance it drifts a little bit towards the beginning of July. We're talking here 1-2 weeks tops. So by mid July, I'm 90% sure everyone's gonna have it's gonna have the beta in their hands. There will be a build for VIPs earlier, so that's for sure too. But we don't know yet exactly when. So um, wait on that, people. I'm talking too much. I'm guessing you're tired of seeing my face. Would you prefer to see that, little bad boy? Okay, I guess you're seeing this because I don't see exactly what I'm streaming. I don't have the little thing on the top. It's very hard for me to see the chat and to see what I'm doing. All right. I guess you all see it. It's very good. You see a loading screen. Okay. When it's laggy a little bit, it's because I have it in the background. I'm alt tabbing on something else. So I'm not gonna go like there's a lot of locked windows for now, obviously, like the marketplace, this kind of stuff. The credits. So about the credits, I'm gonna ask you soon. We're gonna send you an email again when you have the accounts and stuff. It's gonna be easier for us, and we'll ask you how you want to be shown in the credits. So if you're a Kickstarter backer, you'll have your name in the credits depending on the ranking you have, and we'll ask you what you want. So if it can be your name, but it can be a pseudo, it could be something like that. We have this stats, so it's pretty good for us to know. So you can send the hardware configuration to us, so we can know your frame per seconds, stuff like this, and we have also your specs. So we'll the beta, especially the first weeks, is going to be very, very cool for us to know, because we all have kind of professional computers to be able to work on Menyr, and so it's hard for us. Like we have some people testing it on the side, but it's never as good as hundreds of people from the community, because it's actually the people that are gonna use it. So 50 FPS in Menyr, yeah, and believe it or not, but the back is full 3D and it's not optimized. So just for one room, 50 FPS is not too good. It's even like blinking a little bit in the background. It's an old room. We didn't clean it for a while and stuff, so don't worry about this. So nothing to see really. I'm gonna just play. So play campaign and stuff, it's for later, and the map builder is gonna be open for now. So right off the bat, you will be able to create a world and load it. So the saves work. So if you go to load worlds, you can see like some tests I've been making. And in new world, this is where you can start generating. So for now, the only biome you have is forest, and you can choose small, medium, and large maps. I'll show you what it means in the game. I'm gonna start with a medium one, and I'm not gonna touch this too much, but don't worry, I will try to. I will show you in game. You can change everything. It's not like something you cannot go back on, and we're gonna do it in fun ways, and hopefully I'm not going to break anything. So I'm not blue screening for about a week or two now. Some people that have seen me streaming before know it can be my computer had some kind of issues. So I should be okay. If anything, Vince is there in the channel for a bit. I think he's going to have to leave at some point, but he can stream. Maybe Revim can. We all have the build. If not, just wait for a minute and I'll be back. So of course, disclaimer: this is a beta. Everything can break. I'm gonna have to probably reset the engine at some point because something breaks and I can't really erase it. But all right. So high vegetation, low vegetation, rocks. This also I'm gonna take demo. I'm gonna call it demo. And so what it's going to do at first is, because I gave it some parameters, it's going to create my first world in front of us, in front of our eyes. And then after, I can absolutely re-randomize everything and I can start tinkering with the world. So I hope it's going to work, because sometimes it doesn't. All right, looks like it's working for now. So it's starting with, so it's like a layer thing. So it's starting with the ground, then it's starting with then it's doing the trees, and then it's doing the bushes and the rocks and everything. And so here it's a medium map that you can see. I think it's about 0.5 kilometer in size, and this is all procedurally generated. And so if you go in there, so we have the waves going into the ground a little bit sometimes, but so this is all generated in front of your eyes. I think the longest generation we have when we do, I did this actually earlier. I did large map with maximum everything, and it took 45 seconds. It's pretty long when you're just like doing nothing, but it's kind of the longest generation we have for now. And believe it or not, but the longest of the whole generation is the grass. Because it's like, I think thousands objects that are spawning at the end. So a good chunk of it is this. So yeah, this is how we create a world, and now we can start playing with it. So what are we going to do with this? For example, I'm going to start redoing this coastline. So it's pretty good, but it's not very fitting my needs. So I'm going to go into this. So voxel, it's called. It's going to be changed later, but it's technology we're using is voxel. So here I have different sculpt modes and paint modes. So I'm going to start, for example, with painting my here with, so desert sounds a little counterproductive, but it's a beach. So you can see now it's like sandy, kind of a paradisiac, you know, little beach right here. So it's changing everything. Later on, when all biomes are going to be available, you'll have the beach for each biome. So the beach for the deserts are going to look the same as the beach from the mountain biome and stuff. So right now, as it's very limited, we have everything in the same biome, so it's a little weird. But later on, if you paint road, for example, and because I can do it for, like, I'll show you. If I have road, like this, and I paint road, as you can see, it's I just painted a road like this. But this is the road of the mountain biome. So if you have a road, for example, for the desert biome, and it's more like very dry rocks and stuff, and there's no grass, it will draw another type of road. And if you change the biome of a map you've done, it will keep the places where you've painted the road and the forest and stuff, and it's gonna just change the biome. So that's pretty cool, because if you have like a setup that is really nice and you want to just make this as an oasis, for example, you go desert biome and it's gonna re-randomize everything, but it's gonna keep the placements and where you've painted everything and stuff. So anyway, I digress. I don't have a plan. I didn't make like a little plan of what to show you and stuff. So I'm here for an hour and a half or something, and I'll just go around the UI and just like click on every button. So that's why I might have some things that crash. So that's the paint. You can add the strength. So if the strength is half, it's just gonna blend the textures on the ground and stuff like this. And sculpt is pretty cool. Like I said, it's voxel. So this is where I can start, painting. Ooh, this is very strong. All right, I have generation is automatic at first, but I can turn it off, and I'll show you why. So I just turn it off. The UI is a bit funky for now, for some reason. I'll explain that later on. So I'll chill out on the size. I'll go here because it's going to look better. So what I do is, I can just terraform like this. So I have the positive, so I can, add to it. But I can also, if I click shift, and then I just go back. What happens here is everything that is, we call foliage, which includes the trees and the grass and everything. It can update when you do something. It can be useful if you're doing like a zone of trees and stuff. You want to see right off the bat what it does. But if you're doing this terraforming, for example, you have this little button here, update foliage. So you can, do your own business and stuff, and you'll see in the end with the foliage. So that's what I like to do personally. So for example, here, I'm just gonna continue do my stuff. Here, I'm just gonna, I can increase the strength and the size of it. So now I can, just create some cliffs. I just go around like that. So you can see it's pretty responsive. It's pretty good. It's not lagging too much and stuff. I can come here. This is something I like to do also here, and with my negative. All right, that's a hole. So now I can just traverse. Whoop, like this. So I'm on the other side. So this is the terraforming tool. Here I can dig a little bit in it. I can do some cool stuff like this. I have surface, I have smooth. So sometimes it's good to smooth because the technology we're using makes it a little chunky for now. And this is something that's going to be updated. So you can see here, for example, you can start seeing kind of triangles. So you can smooth it out for now, but don't you see with the smooth, it's very smooth. So it's pretty good. But when you want to do something like rocks and stuff, sometimes having little chunks um, can look a little bit better. But whatever you do, remember that the whole technology about terraforming, it's long to explain, but basically we're going to shift to a higher technology. It's going to be better in every way soon-ish during the beta for sure. We don't know exactly when because of a lot of reasons. So for example, I did a little bit of terraforming, and now I'm going to do update foliage. It's going to charge, it's going to load, and now it's going to adapt all my foliage to the new terrain. So like I said, you can have that automatically on every stroke, but right now it's a little slow, and I'll talk about that a little bit too also. So here you see that the terraforming I did. Hop. No, I'm just walking on it. It's a little clunky because I didn't smooth here, but and you're like, yeah, on top of your world, and I literally did like a few blobs here and there. I'm not reading the chat too much. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do my thing. I will leave my coworkers to answer you and to be hyped. I hope you're hyped. Are you hyped? Do you like what you see, guys? Hype. All right, I like that. T. No, I'm not pressing T. Hype confirmed. Okay, so hype confirmed. I like that. A little bit too much clouds. I like to have my sun when I'm terraforming, because when it's too dark like this, you don't know what you're doing really. But like there, that's yummy. So yeah, right now what's annoying is if I do modification of anything that touches the foliage. So if I drag a zone, I do some terraforming and everything. Basically, the engine is gonna recalculate the position of everything on the foliage subject. So it's gonna recalculate this batch of grass and everything around. And this is temporary. So for now, when you do, for example, I'll show you another feature a little bit. So I want a clearing. So I want no high vegetation. It's going to be no trees. But I want a lot of grass and I want some rocks. And so I'm going to do that here. So I hand draw a zone like this. And now it's going to generate. And so it's generating this in front of me, which is cool. It's exactly what I want. But it's also generating everything in the back. And this is annoying because now, as you can see, it's almost done. But it takes a lot of time to do the rest, which is not what I wanted. But I have my clearing. My clearing is done. It's pretty quick overall. I can go back here and I can be like, oh no, here I want some trees, not that many grass. I want a lot of rocks, and I'm gonna do something like this here. And so yeah, imagine that this small detail changes to the generation are going to be so much faster later on, but for now at the beginning of the beta it's this. So I don't think it's too long because of the result. I mean, like, to me it looks pretty good for that amount of seconds you spent on it. If you've worked on 3D or even like 3D VTTs and stuff and placing everything by hand, you know that this is nothing. But you will see that as humans, we adapt to everything. And when you have done this little rounds thousands of times and you see this little bar loading and you know most of it is just the rest and it's useless, it starts getting on your nerves. So it will get improved upon. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I digressed. There was the sculpting mode, so there is the smooth, there is the sphere. So we have a couple, like you can do a sphere. Oosh, I put the automatic again. So perfect example. It's generating everything. So now I just clicked on one ball, and it did what I wanted. So it has like some trees on it and some grass, but he had to regenerate the entire island at the same time. So that's annoying. But as you can see, even so that you have the sphere, you can add to it. You can also forgot to turn it off again. Off on auto refresh, so I can do my stuff. All right, so now we have the tree. So it's better because it's more beautiful, but it's long. So you can also do it like this. You can you can do negative. Clunk. And if I update the foliage, it's gonna take all the grass that is on the water right now is gonna go away. I need this now. You will have it in your hands, not too long. 231 people. That's really cool. I'm really happy you're here, guys. It's really exciting. So yeah, I'm digressing on many things, but I'm just showing you everything. It's really improvised. So when I see something and I want to talk about it, I will. So basically, we have the ocean. I hope you like it because we're very, very proud of our ocean. It looks gorgeous. It has this. So there's an underwater for those who are asking themselves. It is scary and it will get scarier later because we'll do some stuff. But the thing is, when you do something like this, let's say it's a lake. Right now it's ocean, so it's the same behavior as the ocean, which is not what we want in the end. We want lakes, so it will be quieter, if I can say, and it's not going to have the same properties. So it's going to be, more transparent. The underwater texture is not going to be the same and stuff like this. For now, it's an ocean, so it's the same style of water you have, whether it's a small lake or it's the entire ocean. So that's a bummer, but we know how to fix this. It's just it takes a lot of time, and so we have a priority, and we thought this is good enough for now, so we'll deal with that later on. This is kind of beautiful because I think I have the time speed, so I think that the sun is actually moving real time. No, oh, we can see it now. You want to see a sun setting with me? All right, look at it, guys, and enjoy. And now you can see the stars and the aurora borealis and the moon rising. In the forest. All right, focus. So it's back to that. So yeah, I was finishing on the terraforming. My map is starting to look pretty weird because I'm tinkering with it. So sphere average. Will you eventually be able to add celestial bodies in the sky? Yes. So what you can do is change the sky dome. So basically it's a giant texture. You can change it so you can have several moons if you want. If you have you need to import it. We don't have like a click and you have it, but you can import a custom one. The thing is that you will only have one that will light. So the light comes from, like, literally comes from the astre. How do you call it in English? The astral body, the sun, the moon, the thing, the astral body. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it comes from that. But if we have two, it will multiply the luminescence, so we don't do that. So if you have two moons, only one will cast will make the brightness, and the other one is just going to be here for the show. So just wanted to show you the average tool is something that, for example, in between the left of my tool and the right, it's going to average. So it's going to do some kind of a diagonal. It's a little weird to explain, and it's a little weird to use, I'll be honest, but it's very cool. Why? Because it's working. Believe it or not, we had a lot of tools that were kind of broken. It's working, and it lets you make huge stuff pretty quickly. And I guess you'll see when you have it in your hands, because it's hard to explain it, how to show, but it's like I can actually kind of pull the I can pull the volume, kind of, and I can reverse, and it's doing this kind of random things that is very hard to do with the round shape. So I like it. It's in the build. You'll tell me what you think about it when you use it. But this is a pretty cool tool. Oh, while you are all here, I'm gonna warn you, there's one thing. If at some point you break the ground, so for example, if I do, I'm not going to do it here because it's going to break the whole map. Oh, I have an example actually. So here you see this chunk just kind of flying. Oh no, it's just level of detail. Well, if you have something like this, you have something that floats and it's really not attached. Right here was, as you can see, it's really just a loading thing. If you have something that you detach from the ground, you will not be able to delete it, and you will not be able to jump on it and stuff. It's kind of it's a buggy thing. Again, it's something that will go with the next generation of the terraforming tech we're using. But for now, you just have to be worried about it. When you have the beta in your hands, if you start having chunks that fly and stuff, unfortunately, it's going to be hard to get it back to it. If you have an open, there is too complicated. It doesn't matter. It's I'm getting into the technicals because I'm excited. So you have the box right here. What can we do with the box? Some people here, I think, have seen a video a while ago with kind of a shape like that. What could it be? What could it be? Oh my god, the chat is reactive. Are you getting scared now, people? All right. I'm not going to press it, but it's here. It's in the map. It's the T. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big T. So sometimes you're getting into it and you don't realize how huge things are, and then you jump back and you realize even just this is kind of scary. I don't want to jump in it. And the T, ta-da! It's pretty big, right? I can smooth it out and stuff. All right, I can make it look better. Update foliage. We're gonna make this part of the map. Laid backer. What is T meme? Okay, I'm not gonna do it, but I did a stream with the VIPs one day, and we have somewhere here. We have kind of old stuff that was from the. Is it here? I'm not gonna look for it. I'm not gonna place it. I'm not gonna touch it. We have the kind of dungeon generator. So you have it's just one room. It's just like one starting room. You put it on the ground, and when you press T, that was the the feature we planned. When you press T, it starts generating the dungeon. Back when I did the VIP stream, the problem I had is I was blue screening all the time. Apparently, it came from one bar of memory. We got it right now, and so that on top of the fact that when you generate a dungeon and it's the first time in the build, it was the way it was working in Unreal Engine, whatever. You have to load all the assets, and I never generated a dungeon on this build. And I started streaming, and I was not planning on showing the dungeon, but I was excited with the guys, and I was like, "Oh, there's the dungeon! I can try it." And Vince was in the chat saying, "Don't press T! Don't press T! You're gonna break your computer." And I pressed T because he couldn't talk, so I was just reading the chat. And when I read the chat, I'm like, "Oh!" And I blue screen. Everyone was laughing in the chat, and then they gave me shit for it for like half an hour, and now it became a meme, and I kind of like this meme. So don't press T, guys. And T is now it's like the T is breaking the game and stuff. It's not. Can I press T actually, Vince? If now I press T, what does it do? Kind of scares me now. Do it. Not my problem. Okay, I'm not gonna press T, guys. I don't like this. I really don't like this. This is not good. All right, no worries. So smooth. I think I've done the tour of this, and paint. It's just like I said, like it's simply painting the ground on a different texture. So this is for terraforming. As you can see, I've been messing around, and I didn't take a lot of time to do that. But you can do pretty impressive stuff in a very short time. Maybe I'm gonna answer a few questions. Maybe not. I'll do a tour of the UI if you don't mind, and then I'll answer all questions. And if a question begs for a demonstration, I will do it. Here I have I'll stay into the generation first. So this is the pen tool. All names are work in progress, all everything. So don't worry about it. Maybe I will regenerate this because it's a little. So when you have an island, if you want to save this, you can save this. If you want to destroy it, you can. So for example, medium. I'm gonna regenerate a medium. Maybe you want to. No, because while I'm doing all the stuff, medium is better. I'll show you a large after. So high vegetation, low vegetation minerals. I'll randomize. So you have like random seeds like this. Right now it's capped to 1,000 and something. I don't remember why, but it's not mandatory. We can. It's literally random. We didn't try them all. So 642. We'll see what it does. Beautiful. And I didn't say it first, but sometimes because it's fully random, it is underwater. So, and there's not even underwater. So I just found randomly an absolutely empty map. So this we'll try to fix it. Oh, here I have something. Execute order 66. I can try 66. Jesus, that's a good idea. So here I have like 2 small islands, and this is why I like to have a few numbers. And I don't know why, dumb me, I threw this paper earlier. I had like a few numbers. I'll try again. All right, this is going to be okay for showing you what I want to show you. 69420. Elon Musk, is it you? So there's a cap now at 1,400 or something. So what I want to show you is I just want a playground right here. I don't want to find a good looking map for now. So this is where I can start tinkering with the vegetation. So sorry, digression of digression. So later on, and probably when you have it in your hands, it will also randomize this. For now, it's just like plain trees. It's just that if it's 50% trees, it's going to be like, you see, half trees, half not trees. But later on, there will also be patches of different parameters in the map. So for example, I showed you when you have 0 high vegetation and a lot of grass, but I can do something like a little bit of trees, a lot of grass, and a lot of rocks, for example. I'm gonna put auto refresh on this one, and I'm just gonna draw like this a patch. So now it generated something that is supposed to have less trees. It's not showing very much, I gotta say, because it's not very drastic. So if you want to see exactly what it does, again, I'm gonna go there, and here I'm gonna make a patch of just grass. Here, it's gonna be easy to see. Yep. So here, pretty easy to see what's working and what's your zone. And this kind of zones you're gonna have some that are randomized. When you have zones, whether you did it or they were generated for you, you can click G. G is not breaking the engine, and you can see where the zones are. So one day we might be able to edit, so taking the stroke and moving it, but I'm not sure. Maybe Vince is gonna kick me, but I think it's something we want to do. But for now, it's not going to be possible. But you can delete it. So, for example, this zone with all the trees, with all the grass, I can hover on it, and if I press delete, it deletes it. I need coffee. All right. Vince doesn't like when I stream because I'm just telling stuff, and it's like, no, don't, no. So you see, I did a zone. It was like just grass and stuff. I can delete it. And later on, maybe edit. Sorry, Vince, if that's something you didn't want to say. And what I can do, and if I press G, it disappears, so I don't have. It's just for you to be able to see what you're doing. And you have the roads. So roads, I'm gonna hand draw like a road like this. Turn and go up to the lake, to the ocean. So now it's generating. Again, long Y. You see the road is almost finished, but it regenerates the whole map. It is annoying, but it's something that will go at some point. And so the road is done. You can see beautiful road. All textures will be updated. For now, it's kind of whip, but I think it looks very good already. But it's not what we're gonna end with. It will be a lot better later. And so what it does, it clears all the vegetation. So if you have a dense forest, the road passes under. If you have not that dense a forest, it just crosses. The fences are here just to show that it's possible now. It's not something that you will have to have all the time. If you do another road and it crosses the first road, you'll have a crossroad. So it does blend. It's not gonna have, you're not gonna have fences and stuff. Later on, we'll have little posts also in the middle of it. So you'll have like some, post like I think I have one. Yep, like this. I'm gonna turn it like this. Oh shit, I forgot. Sorry. So I forgot now. All right, that's an issue you're gonna see. Everything I'm gonna drag and drop also updates the foliage, so it's gonna be a little bit annoying. I don't have my mouse. Okay, I'm back online. So yeah, you're gonna have stuff like this, and we're gonna put a little bit of a lighting. Is it? I'm supposed to be able to. It doesn't. It's fine. So yeah, you're gonna have like some lampposts and some torches and stuff along the way. Fences, of course, you're gonna be able to change the type of fence. You're gonna be able to change if you want fences or not. But you're gonna be able to randomize, like, you want all the time you want a fence, or you want to sometimes. There's going to be also different roads, so you'll have little path in the forest. So for example, if you trace one, I don't have it now, but it's going to be just, you see a little bit of dirt and you see that people are passing there. You'll have this kind of countryside roads, and you'll have highways, but like medieval highways, but stuff for the carts to pass and stuff. And you'll have different roads. Also, what I have a river generator. I mean, like, you can hand trace. So this tool is kind of is okay. This tool can break sometimes. So I'll click on river and I'll try to show you what it does, and I hope it will go okay. If not, bear with us. It will be fixed. We are prototyping. Oh, it looks good. Vince, keep your job. Shit is co-director. I can't actually fire him even if I want to. So Kevin job, not mine. Oh, sure. Kevin, are you here, Kevin? Kevin, did you do your job? We'll see right now. I'll show the river. So I don't know if do you hear the sound of Menyr, actually? Yeah, Kevin. Kevin's here. Everyone, a little round of applause for Kevin. He's worked on the PCG, on the generation a lot. No Menyr sounds. Okay, so what is the sound? If we do another stream and stuff, I'll try to. I don't want to start messing with the stream, because I don't want to break stuff. But we have birds chirping, and here I can hear the river. If I go close to the ocean, you can hear the ocean. If you put the wind, you hear the wind and stuff. It's really good for immersion. Obviously, Menyr is meant to be a very immersive tool. So yeah, we have the river. If you go in the river, you actually have this. You can see the kind of the god rays. If I move the light, You can see it adapts. Later on, you'll have like some kind of particles and stuff. And yeah, if your river crosses a road, automatically, what does it do? It puts a bridge, and you'll have different types of bridges. You can choose the mesh and stuff. Here looks beautiful. I mean, Kevin, looks beautiful. We have some issues with the bridges going into the land and stuff. So that's why it's been quite complicated to have it done well all the time. And right here they look pretty cool. So good job, Kevin. Good job, Vince. They are both my technical wizards, and they're doing an amazing job. So can you get a slider for the fish density? Or I shouldn't start with the questions. There's no fishes for now. There's no critter. There's no animals. Later on, we'll tackle the animal stuff, but for now, you'll have only this. So as you can see, I hand drew a road, hand drew a river, and it's doing its own thing. Later on, the river, if you have like if you've done something like if you've done kind of a cliff and you draw a river coming from there to there, it is possible that we have some kind of cascade or a little bit of a what's the name again? Waterfall. Thank you. We'll have some kind of waterfall. It's not like a waterfall, and it's just going to be it's going to look like this a little bit, but it will be very different. You're going to see foam and stuff. It's very whip on this, so don't think that as a thing that is going to come soon. It's not very high on the priority, but it's something we're going to be working. Can river cross? So rivers should have their fluid that could merge. For now, I think it's too complicated to do, but it's something that will come later on. Roads can cross. For now, river will. I'm pretty sure. What it does now is that it flows. You can see it flow. It's not very, very obvious, but you can see the river flow. And it flows in the direction of your stroke. So if you actually stroke in the other side, like if you go from bottom to high, it will flow upstream. So it's a little weird, but it's something you have to keep in mind when you're world building. And it will stay this way for now until we have, I don't know when and if, we have some kind of physics, and you can turn it on and say like rivers flow in the sense of whatever. This is not something that's planned, I'm pretty sure. So for now, flows in the sense in the sense of the stroke. All right. It's been 45 minutes already. Jesus. Okay. What else do I have? So I showed you this. This is how to regenerate the world. This is the pen to do the road and the river and all the vegetation stuff. If you click G, you remember G is about the green is the patch of land, and you can also see the strokes of roads and river. So the same way you can mouse hover on it, you click del suppress, and it will delete the stroke. G is the new T. No, because it works. So, and it's not breaking my computer, so it is not. And this is the toolbox. So don't mind everything that is on like the kind of the categories, because it is messy. Something we did almost a year ago, never cleaned it, and so everything is in there. It's a little weird. So this is something you will have from the get-go in the beta. So I told you every character that we had during the Kickstarter campaign will be available. So you have, this kind of skeletons. As you can see, it's loading right now, so it's not looking very good, but it's the texture is loading. And now it's looking pretty fresh. We have this kind of characters, so you have a little bit of it. So you can see we didn't clean it up, but we have a few Hero Forge minis. It's been when we've been making tests with Hero Forge, actually, and this is something we plan on doing. You will be able to have an API and pull your Hero Forge minis from there. It's looking a little funky. Why? Because we've tried to add our materials to the Hero Forge minis, but for now it's work in progress. But it's something you should be able to do. and you just place it. So there's also always the I would say two camps. It's like, oh yeah, it's really cool because I have a lot of minis and stuff. Some people say it doesn't look, I mean, like this guy looks a little bit like he's in his environment. It looks the same because it's realistic. And this can look a little funky because it's cartoony and this is realistic. I think giving the people the option is cool. So it's something that we're going to do. And you can move them and stuff the same way. So you can place your characters like this. What else? Oh, yeah, you have this guy. And then you have, yeah, it's the same for assets like this. So you drag and drop. It's really easy. You just drag and drop and you rotate. Oh, I forgot. So like I said, right now, if you put something on the ground, it will refresh the foliage. So this is going to get annoying. And even something might be interpreted as the ground. So you might see some grass on some assets. So again, beta things we're working on. It's something we're working on right now. It's not going to be like this forever, of course. So yeah, you have this kind of stuff, and you can start. Oh, here it is. First crash. All right. I didn't press T. I didn't. I swear, I didn't press T. No, I didn't. I shouldn't have a webcam on my keyboard. You guys. You guys. All right, I'm gonna enjoy this. I'm gonna take this time to answer a few questions. So, can you write on signs? This is something we want to do. So we have a few ideas for the signs. Here I'm just gonna talk, between backers and stuff. It's not official things we're gonna do. Don't take it at face value. It's gonna be there week 1 in beta. But what we want to do is two things that we think would be pretty cool. Is if you have two cities, Baldur's Gate, Neverwinter Night, Neverwinter, Neverwinter Night. You have a post that is on the road between these two. It's gonna automatically put the name of the cities on the signs. That would be extremely cool, and it's possible thanks to the codex we're doing, codex feature. So that's something we would love to do. And writing yourself on the sign, yes, it's something. Of course, if we can do this, the one I said, you'll be able to edit the post. But it means that we have some sort of way to make the signs writable, and we need to have like a maximum size and stuff. So it's a little complicated, but it's something we want to do, of course. Can we change the intensity at which the water undulates? Yes, you will. When you close the island so that there is a lake in the middle, do the waves get smaller? So yeah, basically, when it's gonna work, because for now I told you everything is ocean. So for now the settings for the ocean outside of the island are the same whatever water body you see in this version of the beta. And we're working on something that if it's enclosed, it becomes a lake, and it's absolutely not the same settings. And you will have something that is very quiet, that is looks a lot more pristine, and it has not even the same underwater texture and stuff like this. So if you see me do weird stuff, it's in the background. I'm just resetting and doing another world, and I have to type like a few commands. Streaming pool size up. All right, and because we have like a lot of messages for debugging, and it's not something I want to show you too much, too interesting. Hop, back to Menyr. So if you enclose, if you have your water like this, and then you do a hole with your terraforming tools, and you make a hole, it will automatically be a lake, and so it will not be looking like an ocean. The thing. Carmen, if you hear me, can you please, when I answer something, if you could take it off or somewhere else? Thank you very much. when you cut off a body of water like this, will eventually change the physics from an ocean to a lake? Well, I guess it's the same question. Yes. So I think I answered that. Is there currently a function for above sea level bodies of water? Will they be in the future? Create water for... So yeah, basically lakes, when we have the thing that works, that makes it that we have lakes and ocean, you can do a body of water anywhere. So you will be able to terraform. Of course, if it goes beyond sea level, it will make an automatically a lake, but you'll be able to drag and drop one. So if you make like some kind of a curved shape, kind of a half bowl in the middle of a mountain, and you drag and drop a lake, it will be there, and you can adjust the water level. I'll generate I'll generate a large map for you. Oh, and I'll show you a little bit of the storyteller. I can show you. Shoot. At 1 hour, that's what I wanted to do. At 1 hour, I want to have shown everything. So 699 is very pretty, large, and I'll keep that here and update the wall. All right. Do you like what you see? Because again, I cannot really see everything, and it's a shame, but I can do it all. Do you like what you see, guys, so far? All right. Bless you guys. Love it. Many questions, many. I'll stay here for a while. So I'll try to not focus too much on the question. I took a few because I took a couple because I was regenerating stuff, but I'll keep my tour of the what you'll have in the beta. So yeah, by the way, everything you're seeing here is the beta build. So it's made for it is what you'll have. So yeah, you can see this is a large map right here. So it is pretty big. I mean, from here, I'm at the edge to the other edge. I think it's what Vince, help me again. Oh, is he here or did he leave? Because I think he has to leave for medical at some point. All right, it's 1 kilometer radius, I think. So if you take the center point and you go to the edge, it's 1 kilometer. And I'm sorry, guys, I'm French, so I don't know the. I think it's six. It's 0.6 miles, I think, and then you make a radius. And so yeah, again, when you fly over, because it's what, when you're world building, this is what you do. But if you go there, like you see, for example, I'll show you, it's really huge because you see the map. Okay, I'm gonna go from here, let's say, to there, to the water, and you'll see how long it take if you walk, and you'll see like the level of detail. And I'm walking here, so it's regular walking speed, so it's like 3 or 4 kilometer an hour. Again, sorry, 1.6 kilometers is 1 mile. Yeah, sounds about right. So it's very dense right here. You can change, so you don't have stuff at eye level. It's called low vegetation. You can actually manage it to be lower if you want your player to explore a lot this way in FPS. It's advised, but it's something we want to give the option to. Why? Because it looks really cool. It looks dense. When you put the like, if you start ramping it up to something pretty scary, and you put the wind and stuff, like, now this is getting somewhere, like this needs to move, and a bit more fog, wind, and cloud, and I want it to be scary as shit. Anyway, chill out. So I was walking. Oh, forgot the wind. Chill out the wind. And you don't have the sound, but there is actually the sound of. And so I'm walking and I'm walking and I'm walking, and I'm still not. You see the water where it is? We're still not there. I've been walking straight for a minute, 2 minutes, going up to 3 minutes or something. So again, if you look at everything over there, I just did basically this in a minute or two. And this is the smallest you'll have. Remember, we said it's going to be huge and stuff. And this is beta 1. So of course it's a large map, but it's really something that's going to improve with time, and you'll have larger maps. Talking about, having entire worlds and regions and stuff. Of course, this is our dream, and I think it's a shared dream for a lot of people here because you backed us. And this is not something like we'll try to not do it because it's complicated. Like, we'll fucking do it. We'll do something about it. Like, we'll try to have some sort of map stitching. We'll have a loading, deloading. We'll have something to create the best world building tool possible. That this is the intent. This is our dream. We'll not stop until we're done. And of course, there is technical difficulties and stuff like this, and it's challenges, and it's not going to be easy. Maybe it's in 6 months, maybe it's in 1 year down the line, but it's something we really want to do. So, all right, large maps, storyteller. Oh yeah, something else you have right there during the beta is the point of interest. So I'm gonna add some clouds because it looks cool. I'm gonna a little bit of fog because I like it in the distance, and I think it's cool. Create view. Then I'm gonna go somewhere else. And here I'm gonna just go here, and I want it nighttime. Nighttime, and I want, yeah, clouds at night. Looks really rad. And where's my moon? My moon is over there. So I can change. I'm kind of burning stages here, but I can change the. No, it is the wind astral angle. Yep. Come here, moon. Come here. And don't move. Time speed 0. And so I want this. Looks really nice. Wait. All right. New. And now, one last. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to just make it. Oosh. Now I'm blowing my perfect performance. So what's happening right now is a couple things. I'll explain why my performance are taking a hit. Yeah, a little bit of snow, beautiful. Another point of interest. And now I can switch from one to the other. Boom, instantly came back to where I was with the state of everything. So you can see sometimes the light takes a little time to adapt, but it's basically there. And so this is personally, this is what I'm going to use a lot, because how I play is I play on site. I play at my home around the TV, and we do all the battles and stuff. We do it on a mat. I have the mat right here, and we do it on the mat, and we play with like beer caps and stuff like this, and we don't care too much about it. It's just like we're talking. But as a GM, what I love to do is having my immersion things on the screen. And so now that was my dream, actually, before we started building the engine. It was like, oh, I would love to have that, because I was using like YouTube videos 4K of snowy mountains and stuff like this. And with this, I can actually be like, oh yes, it's snowing and stuff. And if at some point I'm like, oh, remember this place, this one, I can just show everything that's on my thing. For people, when you're gonna have the beta in your hands, know that it's a limitation from Unreal Engine. It's something that will be fixed later, but you have a time to adapt to the lighting. And so if I go to nighttime, you'll see that it's kind of broken. Here, it's kind of white, and you'll see if I look behind me, it refreshes. Here you can see it's kind of white on the right, and it's good on the left. And if I go back now, it's the right lighting, and it's not a feature. It's not a bug from our side. It's something from Lumen. It's one of the technology we use. You'll see it if I do it now. You see, even in the sky, it kind of disappears a little bit, but this is why sometimes you'll see us, because we're used to it. You'll see us kind of flicking the, flicking like this, because we're kind of refreshing the lighting. It's like this, and you just refresh, and that's better. So you notice the refreshing, yeah. So yeah, point of interest. That's how we call it. Points of interest. They're working. You can delete this one, for example. I deleted it. You can keep it. When you save your map, it's saved with your map. So no worries, you don't lose it. What else? So here there are presets. So basically here it's clear sky, cloudy sky, foggy. So during the day, it's so bright that it doesn't look too good. But if you put foggy during the night, it looks a lot better. There's rainy. So as you can see, it does make the ground wet. It will do ripples on the sea and the lakes, but right now it's not connected. But we'll do it. We had it done for the starter build actually. Everything's gonna be wet. The wood, the everything like this. The rocks. I think you can see that it's wet. Then you have thunder, storm. Looks a lot worse or better depending on how you see it. I'm gonna wait here. So you don't have the sound. It's a shame because really starting to. I can hear the thunder rumbling, and you have. If I wait enough, you'll see one. There are lightning storms, and they really light up the scene. It's like everything goes white, and it lights up the trees and everything. So if you put thunderstorm at night, and you kind of, yeah, there's some settings. I'll leave you to play with it. I think I'll try. So I put night. I put the fog down a little bit. Oh, here you can see it. So now it's scary, and you can see that. Oh yeah, and I heard like on my computer. And you see the light on the trees, and I can tell you, like, if your players are at home at night and you put they have like a 5.1 and you stream that, I mean, like you're putting them in a situation like this, they'll shit their pants. They'll shit their pants. It can get really scary because now you can actually see it's realistic. If you're at night and you have cloudy sky, you don't see anything. You see a little bit of the sky, but it makes sense. If you have, I can see. I'm gonna turn it down because it's cracking at my place. During the night, if you have no clouds, you can see. I mean, like if you go outside your place at night during a full moon, you actually cast shadow, and this is what happens here. But if you put the clouds, you don't see stuff, especially in a dense forest. It is realistic lighting. This is what we're going for. And I'm going to pass you the details, but we are actually getting the exact lumen from the moon and the sky and stuff and everything to connect it and to have an exact thing. Where was I? Oh yeah, and then we have snow. Back to my weather. I'm refreshing. Back to weather, snow and snowstorm. And so again, I'm like, I'm hearing all the sounds. Right now, I think it's a little bit too much in terms of how you cannot see. But again, it's a preset and it's something later on you'll have a control. So I want high wind, but I don't want snow drops, and I want this and that and this. But right now, it's good enough. It gives you, a cool weather to play with. Refreshing. All right, so this is it. Time speed. So like I showed you, I have the time speed, so I can. This is really cool. Again, to like you have your players, and you're like, a day pass, and you just like start putting the time to the maximum, and then you have the sun setting and everything. And I start hearing crickets. You can't hear. It's a shame. Next time I'll sound. And you can see the moon passing and stuff, and then you have the sun rising. Oh, maybe some saw it. There's a rainbow. It's a new feature from today, actually. And so, yeah, so you have time lapse. And if you put it to stop, nothing moves. Later on, what we want to have is just a parameter. We'll expose it at some point. But you can set your time speed. So, for example, you'll be able to do, okay, I want the beginning of my time to be at 8 a.m. So you set up your thing. It's like, this is a time I would like to have. And you know your players are gonna come home and you're gonna have your session. And it's gonna last for about 4 hours. And you want to have it to shift from one mood to the other over the course of 4 hours, and you don't want to have to click and everything. So you can set 8 a.m., nice sky and everything. It's very beautiful outside. And in 4 hour time, real time, I want it to be stormy and scary as shit, all this kind of stuff. And then you click play, and it will smoothly transition by itself. You don't have to click on anything. And so your players are playing, and at some point, they're like, if they look up and they're gonna be like, this is getting scary, it's like, what's happening? And over the course of the time, so you can do that over 5 minutes, you can do that over 4 hours. You can make 3 weathers and stuff like this. So this is going to be very cool. We really want to have the storyteller panel like this to have like deep customization, so you can, because again, immersion for us is paramount. So here's the time, so you can click the little bars. Here is morning, noon, sunset, and then it's midnight. So it's just a little, midnight and 000. So this is a little tooltip to help you. Oh yeah, I said why are my perf? So you can see it's a little laggy here, and why is because I'll try to show you clouds. Where is it? Where's my moon? I'll move it no, right here. So here you can see the moon, and behind me you can see the sun. And there's a time frame where it's actually calculating 2 lighting at the same time on every tree, every leaves. I mean, like, you can see the detail of this, and it makes for beautiful sunrises and sunsets and stuff like this. Like, you can have your forest as far as the eye can see, and you have like this beautiful light that brushes the canopy. And I think it's beautiful, but yeah, it's more for screenshots and little moods, because for now, again, we'll fix this, but it's a little hard to play this way because of the fact that there's 2 actual lighting being calculated on the whole world. And if you go noon, hop, performance or backup. So when you're going to play the beta, you'll notice. So I'm done with this. No, I'm not. Night, and I swear I'm done. 6:40. Okay, I don't want to take too much time before questions. Sorry. Where's my moon? Moon. Here. So you have this little controller here, which is, you can increase the size of the moon, and it does increase the light. So if you have a big moon, it lights a big light. And if you decrease the moon, it will make a dark night. And you can also have a big moon, and you can change the phase. And of course, it does have an effect on lighting. So you can have the moon like this, and you can see the stars a lot more, because when you have the phase that are up, it kind of blinds you and you can see the light too much. So it's I say moon because it's easier to see, but it's astral, so it means moon and sun. So it's the same for the sun. So if you want something like a burning hot day and stuff, you can increase the size of the sun. It will make for like like a little bit even like burning whites and stuff like this. It's kind of pretty. And here you have the advanced panel. It is what we want to do for the entirety of the soft in the end. It's the direction we're taking is easy and very cool stuff at first, and then if you click, you have like options and options and options. You can customize everything. So you'll have, every time you open a panel, even this one is going to be like the simple, easy to use, most used stuff. And then if you go deeper, you'll have huge control over everything you're doing. And so this, you have cloud, wind, fog, orientation. So for example, if I can put a little bit of time speed, and I change the angle. I changed the angle of the clouds. You can have the clouds moving another way. You can change the direction of the wind that goes into the trees. You can have the auroras Auroras Borealis. Do I say it correctly? I'm sorry, my accent is not too good sometimes. I don't think it's too bad, but sometimes it's wonky. You can change, so yeah, orientation of how the clouds go. Aurora Borealis on or off. I think the off button doesn't work. Yeah, it does. At some point it didn't work. You can put it on. It's really impressive. Like if you put the snow and everything, it's really pretty. Astral color again, moon and sun. So it's astral. You can change the color. So for example, if I want green moon, didn't change too much because I didn't change this. And it does change. I mean, like it affects the world because it is the lighting. So it's kind of crazy. If you want to have it red, now we're talking mother. You can have it blue. You can have it, and you can, yeah, you don't have to go crazy like this. You can have it like slightly colored. You can have some pretty results, and normal white is the actual thing. Astral angle. So sometimes you're like, oh yeah, but you know, it's pretty, it's really pretty and stuff, but I really, really wanted to make a point of interest with my moon over there. Well, hold my beer, hold my tea. Oh, such a good joke. And you can move your astral body. So it's same for sun and moon. So you can, you know, make a whole 360. And it affects the shadows. So it's very important during the day, especially if you want to have, like, for example, you have kind of a port, and you want, when the sun is rising, you want, you know, the clouds to be, the shadows to be on one side. It doesn't matter to some, but you know, to people that have like a very clear vision of what they want, and if you want, you have an artistic photographic sense, it really matters. As you can see, the reflection of the moon is pretty. It's. I'm saying this because it was not. It was kind of broken like 2 weeks ago, and the team worked hard on this. And I think now it looks absolutely beautiful, and I think the ocean really reacts well, and because it's a huge moon, you know, it's not supposed to be that big, and it reduces if you reduces the moon and stuff. Like it's really cool. Astral angle, and then time, speed, time, and stuff. There's a little bit of a redundancy, but what we want to do again is this shortcuts, most use, and then if you go to advanced, and later on there will be a lot more stuff. You know, oh, there was some hidden stuff, and you will have, like, you can scroll and have options. I guess that's it. I did the tour. Oh no, I didn't. One more thing, two more things, and then I'll answer a question. Because I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself. So dice. You'll have a couple dice. If you wanna, you know, throw a dice, you have it. You roll it. If it's broken, I don't know how you call broken. It jumps again. Then it gives you the number here. So how do you say broken? You know, when you roll a dice and it's like not flush, not straight. Cocked. Okay. So if your dice is cocked, it will bounce. I don't know if you saw it properly. And so you have all the D4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 20. So they're hidden because we're doing the UI right now. All right, this one was good. I'll try to have him. If you hold click, it's the strength of your throw. So I shouldn't have done that because I'm trying to show you something. This one is not. So one dice is jumping right now because we don't have a result. I lost. Okay, and so I have my number 731. At some point you'll have it. You'll also have you'll have the number on the chat. So right now it's just let's be honest, it's not ready for VTT. There's no multiplayer. There's a lot missing. But what I figured is, what I said to the team is, what I would really love is for when the beta is up, they have the kind of vital minimum to be able to play around the TV. Or to stream the screen and to play online and stuff with friends. So if you want to have, for example, if you want to have the roles that are public, it's cool to just have the dice. You know, it's a simple function. It's not much, but it can make you play. Again, for us, it was uh, the rest, all the character sheets and stuff. Like for now, I guess it's okay if you do it, on your table. Oh, you saw it, jumped, boing. And when it's flush again, when it's not cocked, when it's the right thing, it does. Grid, I can Oh, not working. All right, so this is a function that was supposed to. It's going to be working for the beta. So if you click here, you have the grid that is displayed, and if you click on this is the ruler. You can actually measure in feet how far stuff are. So what's the use is, obviously you have your character and you have a skeleton, and we'll give you a few tokens and stuff, like green, blue, stuff, like, so you can actually um, use it for basics. Even if you don't have all the minis and stuff, you can still use the VTT as the basic function. So if you move a character, you can see how much in an increment of 5 meters. And if you want to just calculate, because you're like, okay, how can I strategize and stuff, you can take the ruler and you can be like, oh yeah, but it's like too far, this is too basic, but it works. Oh, grid is working now. Kind of made it work. So if you look too far, the grid is not displaying. It's kind of around surrounding you. Retry the grid. Yeah, Vince. Thanks. I don't know why, but it's so if if I go too far, I don't see the grid anymore. But because it was very very it was looking bad, when you had the grid on the whole world, and it's enough. I mean, like, this is probably 100 feet from me. I don't think you need measurement for that, and you can do it with a ruler actually. But when you display the grid, now your characters snap. So if you drag and drop it like this, of course it's not working when I'm showing it. It will snap during beta and afterwards. Oh, now it's working. So if I put it a little bit on the side, up, it snaps, and all my characters snap, and now I can use the grid. So this is basic functions, but we figured it would be good for you to have, so you can world build, and even with with a few tokens, the dice, the grid, and the measurement tool, you can even do some battles. So of course, it's very bare bones. You don't have anything. You don't have the game systems. You don't have the character sheets and stuff, guys. For now, we'll have to use it with the character sheets on computers, on our desk, and but we're working on the rest, the world building, and I think you see that we've been working pretty. So yeah, and the eye, it's the last feature I'll show you. No, I think it's the before to last. So you have two views. First view, oh, it's resetting me to 000 in the world. This will be fixed. So this is FPS. This is the global view. You can fly around as a ghost, whatever. And if you double jump, it brings the gravity, and now you walk like a normal person. If you click on shift, it runs, and if you double click, you fly again. If you click on the eye and you are now a camera, it's the camera is more like League of Legends. I call it the Divinity because I think it's Divinity Original Sin. I love the controls, I love the game, and it's really good. And later on, you'll have a control to rotate around what you're looking, like in this kind of fashion. Right now I'm doing it with my hand, so it's kind of not looking that good. But it's, I think, for battles or for showing stuff. Oh, here they are. It's really cool. And when you zoom, it kind of changes the focal things. It looks really like a miniature thing. I really like this camera. I think it's really cool, but it's capped, so you can't zoom lower than this. And if you unscroll, it's capped there, so you can't go higher and stuff. And this is one of the view I talked about many times. You can lock your players to certain views. So for example, you're like, okay, I want my players to be able to be stuck there and not more. I don't want them to be able to, look up. Why? I don't know. It's like right there's a city or there's an encounter you don't want to see and stuff, and you can restrict. You can make an invisible wall, and your players, for example, will be able to be there. And if they go forward, they're blocked here, and so they have to focus on what you give them. So they can explore like this, but they can't really like look at the sky and everything. And at some point, you're like, okay, and now I give you your freedom, and you have like I think three types of restrictions from movements, camera, and what they can do and stuff. So as a GM, you don't have players running around like headless chickens and stuff. Basically, and it's from my experience as a GM, if you give something that is too interactive, your players they will play with it and stuff, and they're not really listening. And sometimes you want that, you want them to engage into your world, to be able to go around and have fun and be like, whoa, this is amazing, the world is cool. And sometimes you're like, okay, I want it back to, you know, the cooperative storytelling, which is, to me, if I have two words to describe tabletop RPG, as cooperative storytelling. And you go back to that and you're like, okay, I want you to focus a little bit, guys, and you can stop their screen and force them to show this, for example. So this is not looking too good, but you will have made your point of interest, and you can force this on their screen, and they're like, okay, so they can move, they can, you can even force them not to open their character sheet and stuff, and this is now a time to just talk. And if you want, you're like, okay, now you unlock them and they can go back to their characters and stuff. So you have a lot of control as a GM. There, I shouldn't click on it. Okay, I clicked. So it doesn't matter. It's a random page from Notion. So this is going to be the tooltip, the tool. So it's going to access a web page on the internet that it's a Notion page. If you guys know, I think some of you do. And basically, it's going to be the tutorials right here, and we are going to update it with the time and stuff, and we're gonna put categories, and this is gonna be like, okay, world building, VT functions, and all of that. And every time we have something we want to update the tutorials and stuff, we'll put it on the Notion page, and if you just click on it, it connects to the internet, and you have the latest tooltips. So it's gonna be filled with GIFs showing you some functions, how we use it and stuff, and we're gonna go around and we're gonna explain every button in the UI. And so we'll try to make some videos, like a few minutes videos, to show you the, you know, the tips and tricks of all the tool. But also we want to have you want you to have access to this kind of thing. So you click here, you have a sub menu and stuff like this, and you, if you just click back, it's this. So this is going to be the tutorial part of it. I'm done with the tour. It's been an hour and a half. I'm very sorry if some people had to leave and stuff, or if it's too long. I will now answer a few questions. I will regenerate a world medium, because sometimes to show it's better, it goes faster. Update. And I'll read some question. So again, didn't read the chat because I'm just a blabbling. How do you like it, guys? Did the tour. 1 to 10. Do you like it? Do you think it, I don't know, could be better on some part? Like, be honest. 1,010. Okay, I love you guys. You're very nice. I can't fucking wait. I like that. Okay. All right. Will there be underwater foliage? Yes. So underwater for now is on hold. It's basically there's a texture, there's a few rocks, but they look pretty good, you know, with the caustics and the foam. Because if you have rocks, they actually they react. The foam reacts to what's under. As you can see, it's not random. It's like the foam is on the sides, a little bit in the middle. But if you, for example, if I grow some dirt like this, you see, it's really, oh shoot, generating. I forgot it's automatic update. I'll turn it off for my explanation. Sometimes it's going to be annoying. So it really updates in real time to what you have under. You see, I'm slightly clicking here, so I have some things that are barely popping, and it's adding the foam. Is the wind implemented in a reactive way as far as the vegetation goes? It all seems very static compared to the water movement and Canivale feeling. Yes, for now, the wind is making the trees move, real, but it's kind of, it's a little wonky. So you see it moving. When you go too far, it's gonna start looking a little bit weird. We're working on it. You see here, you have this kind of movements. There are little. It's something we didn't work on yet too much. I guess when you're like when you increase the mood and you have something very, right here I'm hearing the thunder and everything, and you push your wind to the maximum, it kind of gives a mood, so it's good enough, But it's when you see stuff too up close and stuff, you can start to have some uncanny valley feeling because it's the movement are not very realistic, while the rest is extremely realistic. So yes, you're correct. Right now, the wind is really work in progress. It's not something that is done by any stretch of the imagination. And the water is really good. But again, there's a lot of stuff that are going to be done. And yes, there will be algae. There will be some kind of rocks on the shore, and you'll have some sand and ripples and stuff. And if you go to the ocean, it's going to look very dark when you're looking at the deep sea. That's what we want to have. How many weathers type are in the engine now? Want to see snow with the heavier snow. So yeah, for now, snow again is the tech we have right now. Is we have white that is applied to everything, but it's not real snow. It's not what I mean by real snow. It's not, it doesn't have a thickness. And this is something that will have to come with a technology specific to snow. So it's extremely complex. It's something we want to tackle at some point. For now, it kind of looks good though. It's something we like. It does the job, especially it's like real time, doesn't take a second. Is that you can switch from one to the other. Again, you refresh, that's it. You don't have the snow. You do the same with the snow. The Vince right now is looking down the line at, yeah, we can have physics, and when you walk in it, you have trail and everything. Like, of course, everything's doable, guys. It's a matter of, I mean, like the scope of the project is pretty huge because we have the world building, we have the play, we have the multiplayer, we have the VTT functions, and we have the marketplace and the sharing between you. It's huge, and stuff like snow will ultimately get down this. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done before that. Something we would love to have. Pattern look a bit repetitive with tree. Will it be corrected? So right now you have you have some sorts of trees. When you're above, it looks like it's a bit the same from the distance because we have what we call a culling. So when it's too far, some stuff doesn't show. It's to have actual performance, because if we show everything at any distance, even a small map is going to be hard to show. So for example, if I approach, you can see the start of rocks and then the grass and everything. So when you look there, even like a small little scene like this looks very good because you have everything from the dead leaves to the little flowers and the high grass and everything. If you look further, you don't have the flowers and everything, of course. And if you look a lot further, you still see the trees and stuff, but you don't have the small trees. So is it repetitive? I don't think it. I think it looks pretty good right now. And this is one biome. I think what will add to the generosity, I guess, of the engine is that later on, if you have like a desert biome, you'll have baobabs and palm trees and stuff like this. So of course, later on, you can mix the biomes and you can drag and drop any trees you have in all your biomes. So you can add some variety yourself if you want. And there are probably going to be ways to increase variety. For now, as one type of tree forest, because this is what it is. It's the same type of tree. Like if you do a oak forest, there's going to be 90% oak, and then you're going to have a little bit of other trees. And this is what we have right here. This is the first build we do, and later on we'll have more. What is the world limit currently? Could I remake all of the Pathfinder world, etc.? No. So for now, I said it's a 1 kilometer radius. So it's, if from me, I look at 1 kilometer and all around me 1 kilometer. This is the large map right now. The small is like 250 meters. The medium is 500, and the large is 1 kilometer. We'll start with that. We'll see. Mostly, we'll see what you guys, what it does to you and your computers and stuff. And if most of you have no issues and we can increase and stuff, we'll increase. Later on, we hope to find a way to stitch the maps or to have some sort of loading and deloading, so we can have as far as the eye can see. Let's be crazy, Vince, don't cry. But it's not something that we can do in the near future. Let's be honest. But I think for now it's still pretty big, and you can really have fun, and it will only go up from there. Again, like I said earlier, it's the smallest map you'll have because this is beta day one. You'll have this. Is there a way to paint different texture onto the rocks? Later on, probably this is something we've been talking about, like kind of a material painter. You can use on the trees, on the buildings, on the rocks, and everything. For now, it is linked to how we're going to handle custom material, and this is something we're discussing with Epic, none other than them. And we have a couple options in front of us. And as long as we don't have decided what pipeline we're going to use, we're not going to commit on anything. And I can't really tell you how it's going to be done and why. So this is something for later. Will we be able to modify road and river strokes after placement? It's a little bit like I said with any stroke. For now, you can just place one and you can delete and redo. Later on, you'll be able to edit the strokes, but I'm not sure how and when. This is more Vince. Nanite allow high poly but not infinite culling. Yep. Can you kind of close up to the base of the tree? Yeah, sure. So the base of the tree is going into the ground, as you could expect. But we have some assets. So we have some trees like this. You have some branches. We had some mushrooms at some point, but it was not working too much. We're putting bushes and stuff. So yeah, of course, if you look really closely, you can see the tree getting into the ground regularly. Maybe later on we'll have like roots and everything, but for now we think it looks pretty good. What's the current depth limit? Like how deep can whole of the continent go? I don't know. Let's try. Vince, should I try? Should I press T? Oh, I think I think it's just traversed. I'll update. Let's jump in. All right. More. Holy shoot, that is scary. Oh, did I hit the bottom? All right, let's dive together. I don't know. I don't know how deep. This is scary. You know, you're making me do. I don't have many phobias, but deep sea, like the dark blue ocean, is probably the real phobia I have. Oh shoot, I'm at the end of the world. So I think I did, like, it's massive. I think I did kind of a hole like this, and it traversed at some point. So that's the end. It's pretty deep. I don't know if at some point there's going to be a limit, or I'm accelerating. I don't want to get out of here. Doesn't feel good. Ah, that's better. You can go deep. I guess that's my answer. Can you add trees individually? Yes, not really for now, but later on you'll be able to go into the toolbox I showed you. You have the assets, and you'll have like natural. Oh, we have a hangman tree. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, everything you have accessible in your biome, you'll have it like this. And so as you can see now, I cannot move the one that I've been generated placed, but this one, oh, this. Yeah, that's an important point actually. If I want to get rid of some trees that were procedurally generated, I have to do like this. So for example, I'm going to do a little zone. I'm going to update my foliage, and this is going to clear the trees. You don't have control. You don't have another way to control what's been procedurally generated. You cannot take a tree and move it for now. we're thinking of ways where we know that the technology might make it doable in the future. Have I been a good boy, Vince? I think that's the right answer. So it's a very it's a very nurture thing, but for now, think that you cannot move a tree. You know, I wanted to clear trees. I just cleared trees. But if you place something by hand, if you place something by hand, then you can move it. You can move it anywhere. It's like any asset, like this, like a character, like a house. You can take them and move them. We have events that will work night and day, and that's an answer I can give for sure. And you can see this tree is another tree actually. So we'll have like different types of trees. For now, it's maybe that possible to edit grass height. Not sure. Vince, maybe you can answer this one in the chat. In the future, we'll be able to pick what type of forests, fir trees and stuff. Yes. So this is basically biomes. You'll have this is one biome again, and later on you'll have biomes, and a biome can be another type of tree. What happens if you leave an open shape with a pen tool? It closes it. So I'll show you, and it's going to be very. Oh yeah. I'll do it here so it's more clear. I'm accelerating a little bit. So if I do high vegetation, no grass, no rocks, and I do a half shape, you'll see it's gonna, I let it go now. Oh, and you see the shape that it did, it closed the shape. So if I hover this one, I can delete. This one I can delete. And I'm gonna just leave the one right here. Will late stage Menyr auto-generated worlds have random village with roads connecting them? Of course. This is the intent. This is just beta number 1. Even during the beta, and I think maybe before you have it in your hands, we'll have, like I said, like you see this kind of shapes. I think because now I think I said it at the beginning of the stream. Maybe I was not clear. Right now, everything that is above the water is what I gave it, which is half on high vegetation, half on, it's like 50% low vegetation, high vegetation minerals, which is all the rocks. But there is no, that's it, you know, so it's randomly allocating like a 50% density on everything that I've said. But in the build, or at least early in the beta, it's going to also randomize some strokes, if I can say. Some stuff like this. So you'll have like random patches of varied stuff. And you'll also have, if you're going to tell him like I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 roads, and it's going to generate random roads. Same for rivers. And of course, when we have village generator, city generator, you'll be able to add, and you're like, oh, I want 3 villages in 1 city, for example. And I'll be able to do that for you. We'll be able to customize the colors of the environment, green water, blue trees. I think it's the same answer to when they ask if they could change the material of rocks. It's connected to the whole thing with Epic and stuff, and we're not sure yet. We had something in mind, but we might have something better if we work with Epic and stuff. So on hold, I cannot answer this one because I don't know, and we don't know. When we have a direction, we'll do we'll talk about this with you guys, and we'll tell you what it means that we can do and what we can't. But whatever we do, of course, is going to be in the interest of the tool. Well, brush sizing, it's 7:15 here. I'm going to wrap up in about 2 seconds. Will brush sizing have a hotkey, or will you have to go to the dialog to change manual? No. So here you can see, maybe you can see at the bottom of my screen when I open the menu. So yeah, when you see that, it's right click. So what we wanted to have in Menyr is the basic is you don't have anything. We just want immersion. You don't have anything on the screen. And if you right click, then you have your menus appearing. And if you hover this one, it will give you some options. And this one you have to click. And if you click, it changes. It's not very pretty for now and stuff. It's going to be updated, but you have the general idea. For there, you can see at the bottom of my screen, it's shortcuts. I don't know if it's going to work, but for example, you can even have anything that is in the UI might be Vince might kill me. You should be able to drag and drop anything and put it in. Oh, that worked in the hotkey bar. So right now I have as a hotkey I have the skeleton. I can drag and drop here from my hotbar, and so I don't have to go into the thing all the time. And you have the same for this, so you can drag and drop. No, it didn't work this time. So you will be able to take like, oh, you fine tune a little weather you like, and then you can drag and drop it, put it here, and when you press a button, it's gonna put your thing. You'll have like little arrows here to you have hotkey bar 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so you can have your hotkey for weather, your hotkey for things that you drag and drop all the time and stuff. How would one approach floating islands? Floating islands, you mean in the air? I'm guessing. You can do it, but you will have this issue that I talked about earlier. So I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm gonna break the game for you. Yeah, I'm gonna do it. So I have this. It's an island. Then I'm gonna cut it off the world. So I'm gonna take my tool and I'm gonna isolate the top layer. So I'm gonna cut it. I might crash the game. Did I? No, I didn't. So this now is a floating island. You can see it's casting the shadow and everything. But the thing is that now, maybe I'm incorrect, but whoop, just bugged. Right. So now I have the bug. It's not a bug. It's something. It's just that it doesn't work. And again, this technology for terraforming will be updated later. So now, as you can see, my tool is passing by. So this means that this is now inactive. What you see on the screen, cast shadow. If I update foliage, there's even a chance that there's grass on it and everything, but I cannot change it anymore. So when you start to have this kind of shapes that are floating, it's now done. And your save, I think Vince told me that maybe if I save and I load it again, it will make everything that floats disappear, but I'm not sure. It might be disappearing, but it might also stay here and being impossible. You see, right here I'm on surface. So if I click over there in the back, well, it doesn't work even. Oh yeah, so you can see I can pull my terrain, but not here. If I click, I'm actually doing it in the background. You see, I'm doing it in the back. It goes through it. So this is something you have to keep in mind. If you do like a perfect thing and then you cut it off, you can maybe have some kind of floating island map, but you can just change the weather. You cannot even drag and drop something on it, I think. Or if you can, maybe at some point. Oh yeah, it works. Does it have the grid? It doesn't have the grid. Okay, so basically you can't touch it anymore the second it's disconnected. So maybe I'm sure some crazy people like you will spend hours making the perfect island and then they're gonna disconnect it at the last time. Anyway, this is the problem with the floating islands. What kind of feedback would be useful as a beta tester for you? Performance. We want to know what's breaking, what's not breaking. We want to know. So especially if you give us feedback, what's extremely important for it is reproducibility. If you're like, for example, you send us a screenshot of this and you're like, I don't know how I did that, but now it's broken. It can be very, very hard for us to understand and to fix. If you're like, okay, every time I do this, this happens, we can fix it. So this is paramount to us fixing the build, is to tell us how to reproduce the bug. Are there graphic settings? Yes, I didn't show you, but oh, silly me. I pressed escape and escape in Unreal because I'm using the Unreal editor right now, but you'll have a compiled executable. When I press ESC, it just kills the runtime, the actual thing. You have graphic. I'll show you. I'm just rebooting my my thing. Does this have support for graphic tablet inputs? I don't think so. There is a pad support. So if you want smooth if you want to film, I'll show you. I have a pad right here. So right now I'm doing something that you won't have to do, like drag and drop of the first world and stuff. It's just an editor thing. You don't have to do it during the beta because you select your first world and you go from there. So I have an old, I don't know if you can see, but it's an old Windows 360, no, Windows, Xbox 360, I think, pad. And you can see I can move and go up and down, and it's pretty smooth. So I don't know if some of you guys are into, you want some little trailer for your friends. You're like, this is what you're gonna play in, and you wanna film your screen. The pad movement is so much better. It's so smooth, compared to the mouse. So right here, I'm playing with my pad, and the turn is kind of funky right now, but the looking down, looking up, and we're gonna make it smooth all over. But yeah, tablet input, don't think so. If you're thinking about doing the shapes in a perfect way, I'll be honest, I'm not sure it's necessary. It's not going to be that precise. But again, maybe you can work something with that. Is this using Nanite? Of course. I'm assuming you're using the Voxel plugin. Yes. Will you be updating to Voxel 2 once they have released it? So it is what we're using right now. It's Voxel 1. And we are thinking about using Voxel 2 that is already released for developers like us. So we tested it. But we have some secret stuff in behind the scenes going on that can make us choose another solution. So we are right now, this is why I'm talking sometimes about tech, and I'm like, oh, the next tech. And so the next tech will be tech or Voxel 2. Yeah. So, and Voxel 2 is absolutely a lot better, and it fixes a lot of the issues we have. And so if that could be the solution, but we might have something else even that could be better in some ways for us. Foliage, other question, what's the codex? Codex, I'm not gonna take the short time I have to answer that, because I think this is not something I can answer. Sorry. After 2 hours of stream, I'm starting to learn. It's something we can answer in questions, and a lot of people can answer to you actually. Foliage reloads foliage for the entire map, not in chunks. Yes, and that is why right now when we do the slightest thing, the regenerating is a little long. Again, I tried large map, everything full, all the here, like all the things here full, and I think it was 45 seconds. So long, yeah, because 45 seconds when you're like this in front of your screen, in front of a loading bar, is a little long, but overall it's not that long. Too long, because it's really when you're generating the entire thing. How optimized will it be? Oh, that was the question about graphic settings. So there's a game menu with okay, world map. I'm not going to show it. No, there's nothing. I'm teasing you guys. This is for later on. Inventory settings. So don't look at this. Don't look at this. This is the devil. Gameplay, key bindings. Oh, so no. I'm stuck. I'm gonna have to, escape works. Display. So this is the options you have. So you have Windows mode, resolution scale. So this is pretty cool. If you're 100%, it will calculate everything 100%. If you reduce the resolutions, the resolution scale bar, it will kind of simulate the full resolution, but it will actually render a lower resolution. It is very advised that you try between 50 to 75. You cannot go lower to 33. And when you go to 33, sorry, again, I'm slurring, you're going to see a lot of trails. It's going to be very, very, it's not going to be pretty. You're going to have a lot of color trails everywhere. It's going to start to look funky. Between 50 and 75, we have very good results in terms of it looks the same as 100%, but you can have like 10, 15 FPS more frame per second. So it's really good. You can limit the frame rates and stuff. Don't mind the images. It's it's from all things from Unreal, VSync, gamma, and everything. And you have the graphics, and this is where the stuff is. So you have cinematic quality. If you put there, everything's gonna go cinematic. Did I kill it? Yes. Whoa! Everything reloaded behind resolution scale. I can show you what it looks like when it's at absolute maximum. Return back to main menu. No, continue. So everything is a lot sharper. I'm playing 4K, by the way, so hits performance, but everything is so sharp. The shadows are more accurate. This is really good if you wanna show your screen on a TV and you don't really care if you're like 30 FPS and stuff. Now everything looks absolutely gorgeous. If you zoom on the leaves, you can see everything. So this is really cool, but this is very costly. So my frame per second is probably around 20, right? You can feel it's not that smooth, but it's not. I don't have like input lag or anything. It's just. But I have a pretty beefy computer. So yeah, again, you can do this all. We have made just for you guys. We have made a recommended. So recommended is our take on the best between overall quality and performance. So if you want to try this one from the get go, it should be good for most of you. We hope so, obviously. And then if you want to try some things, try it out. And this is where I guess it goes back to a question I heard earlier. What can you do to for us and stuff? Like this is very good. Telling us, all right, this option absolutely obliterates my computer. And if we have this feedback more and more and more, we're gonna be like, okay, this is something we need to look at. What we know is right now shadows are blasting performance. So shadow quality, don't hesitate to put it lower, but if you put it to low, you'll see it's not very pretty. Foliage quality also, obviously. View distance. Well, I'll let you tinker with this. But recommended is pretty good. If you want to try this one, I advise you to do that. Return back, continue. All right, a couple more questions. Can we stream and share the beta content? Not for the at the beginning. This is something we said in the Discord and stuff, but I'll say it again. So basically, we want to have a couple weeks of how did I call this? I thought it was a pretty cool term, discretion. Yeah. So we want to have a little bit of time. Why? Because if all of you are like, okay, this is not working, this is breaking all the time and stuff, we want to have a few weeks to fix it. I mean, like you see, so it's in my hand and we don't even know. It's like I might be so used to it now that I avoid issues and stuff. And when you're gonna flock in, it's gonna be like all of you are gonna see something that we missed. I think the engine is pretty stable. Performance is something we are not sure about because it's hard. It's so hard. Like everyone has a different computer, and this is a big thing in every company I've worked for. When I was at Ubisoft and stuff, like the team is huge for getting different specs and for trying stuff and everything. And so this is something we're a small team. We don't have the Ubisoft horsepower, obviously, and this is something we're not sure about. So before everyone blasts on Twitch and YouTube and all social media, we want to have a little bit of time for you to chill out and to keep it to ourselves, not even just to yourself. We'll have some chance on the Discord channel where we can share stuff in amongst ourselves, backers and developers and stuff. So it's not going to be like a lonely walk for a month. It's just going to be for, let's say, when it's released for VIPs, then it's going to be maybe 1 week, 2 week, then it's going to be released for everyone, for all backers, and then maybe 2 weeks. If things go well, like if basically everyone's having a blast, we don't have to wait. We could be 2 days, but I prefer, again, like you've seen me now, you've seen how I communicate with you. It's more like an under promise, over deliver is what we prefer. So I'm saying like, yeah, 2, 3, 4 weeks max of silence, and then we just go. And maybe it's gonna be 2 days, but I prefer you to, okay, guys, it's a few weeks. It's not too much. You can play with your friends. I mean, like if you want to stream to your friends for making a Dungeon and Dragon or a Pathfinder game, sure, no problem. Don't put it on Twitch. Don't put it on Instagram and everything. And it's not something that it's not. It's really for the beginning, because after that, what we want, what do you think we want? We want this everywhere. I mean, like, we want people to be excited about the project and coming in and being, so it's really something we take seriously, and it's not something that's going to last for a long time. How optimized we'll be able to check the resources one map takes? Yeah, because you've maybe seen it, but you have, the performance thing you've seen at the beginning, statistics. Yep, it's here. So you can see right here on my map, I'm at 30 FPS. I have, so you have all my statistics actually. How many CPU threads it's taking and everything like that. So yeah, remember, this is a large map. I think it's a large map. I've put foliage pretty high and stuff. I don't remember what I've done, but right now it looks like it's about 30 FPS. So you can and you can send hardware configuration from here. You can do a bug report. You'll be able to bug report from the website. So if your engine is broken, you don't have to get in to report, obviously. Can I escape? Nope. This one was was breaking my engine. I guess I'm gonna I'm gonna just go back to talking right now, because I'm gonna have to stop at some point. All right. Oh, I was awfully close to the webcam. And I think, yeah, that was how long? 2 hours. It's been a 2-hour streaming. It's been a blast for me. So many questions, Jesus. So many unanswered. Oh, no, it's answered. Okay, I'll finish maybe. Yeah, I'll finish. Don't add too many questions, please, guys. I know you like to tease me. Don't make me press T. Will it be available on Mac OS and work on older Windows version? I think Windows versions should work. Vince will tell you maybe more. Mac OS is something we want to do, and this is going to be post public launch, so probably 2024. I'll be honest. If you're an Unreal Engine and you like compile your project for Windows, there's also the option for Mac. We'll try it. We'll try it, because if it's very smooth, there is almost no retake, we might push it and give it to Mac users. It would be absolutely awesome, and we know there's some of you there. Mostly people are playing on Windows, but the thing about when you're very deep into development and you start porting, you're working twice, because you fix something and then it breaks on Mac and you have to do it twice. So the idea is to go up to the public release, so 1.0 Menyr, not beta, not anything before. And when it's good, we will do the Mac OS, and then we're like, okay, what's need fixing? And if there's a little bit of fixing and stuff, we'll do it. But ultimately, it's going to come. Ultra wide screen support, not sure. I would love to have one actually, and try it out. There'll be a support for Stream Deck. I have one right here. We're looking at pixel dice, so you can roll your dice and it will react into Menyr. I just had an email from these guys this morning, and Vince knows it's a private joke, but it's a good thing for him. I just got it made from these guys. Color blindness mode, absolutely, and it will be deep. I didn't get it. I just had an email from the Pixel Dice guys, and this is good news for you, my dear Vince. Color blindness mode. I'm not going to be cryptic. I'm going to tell you why. It's because Vince is our CTO or Chief Technical Officer, and of course, if we want to implement something, we need to test it. And they agreed to send us a set of dice, of pixel dice, and who's going to receive it? Damn it, that's Vince. That's not me. Yep. So Vince is gonna receive the dice. I was answering something. Color blindness mode. Yeah, I'm not gonna go into. It's not gonna be just off or on. There's gonna be like a lot of options and stuff. We have someone in the team that is colorblind, and this is a subject that is dear to us. And we'll do something that is actually working well. Is there and I'm saying this because I've seen games where it's just one button and it increases a little bit the settings, and I don't think we don't think it's enough. Is there a 2D map generated for the 3D environment? Can you use 2D maps as a vendor? Not sure when during beta. This is something we want to do. Generating 3D from 2D, extremely complicated. Something we want to do one day. No promise on when. Excuse me. But one thing we want to do is going to come somehow early, is that you'll be able to have a 2D map flat, and then you can terraform on top of it, and then you can hide it. So you can kind of take a map and, I don't know the word in English, but trace over. That's something that's going to come at some point. Dice Pledges preview. Dice Pledge preview. Did I show you? I got set up by some VIPs here, right? No. You want to see the dice? Not comfortable showing too much. I'll show it another time. I'll show some. I'm sure some later on. This time, no, and I don't have time. But someday we have worked on the need to leave. Thank you, everyone. Vince, thank you for your answers, and absolutely massive thank you for your work. I want everyone to send some love to Vince, because he's outdone himself, and he's worked absolutely massively in the last weeks for you to have the beta in your hands in a few weeks, hopefully earlier and stuff, but he's working very hard. And so thanks to him, thanks to everyone in the chat that is from the dev team. I've seen Kevin and I've seen Carmen, all of them helping me very, very much on this. And there was Pierre with us also. I'm not sure he's here. Anyway, thank you for the thanks. Bye, Vince, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right, so now that it's gone, we can talk for real. Now I'm going to show you the shit. Is he still here? No. I'm kidding. No. We'll be able to flying models. Yes. Can you set a background at the border of your world so it's not an island but looks like part of a continent? No, not really. For now, it's going to be. So it's very do it. For now, it's very hard to have anything else than what you've seen. It's going to be islands, and if you want to fake some kind of mountains, that you can sculpt them in the background, and you can have. I tried some things, but you won't have like the snowy mountains. For now, it's islands. Of course, we're working on having bigger stuff and to have some things in the background, like you've seen in the Kickstarter video and stuff. For now, it's islands, pretty big ones, and this is where we're gonna all test the engine to the maximum, and then later on have it. We'll be able to have some level of gore in the fights. This is linked to anything animated, and for now, animations are going to be extremely bare bones. You've seen when I drag and drop a character, it has kind of an idle animation like this, so it's not static. And that's about what you're going to have. And some of the characters will have, walking, running animation, maybe sitting and stuff like this. So you can have kind of an immersion. But combat and complex stuff and fireballs and everything, I'll be honest, even up to the public release of the beta, you can forget about it. It's extremely complicated. It's going to cost in terms of resources for the team. It's going to be way too costly, and we're going to blow the rest of the end of the project for that. So, of course, it's not something we forget, but it's like, as long as we don't have another revenue stream, it would tank the prediction of the engine. When we have the marketplace and we are online publicly and we have some revenue, we can reassess. It's like, if we have a lot of revenue, we can hire, and we know some people that can help us on hiring the right person, because we have a lot of friends that are animators, and we can hire the right people that can help us on the technical level, and to hire the right guys. For now, we know what we can do with our team and with a little bit more help and stuff, but it's going to be anyway. I'm lost, and I'm reading the question. I think I've love you guys. Small maps are fine. Anyway, so I will stop with this. Probably too early to answer, but will the upcoming market be able to accommodate listing animation assets for other to use? We're not sure about it goes under the same answer I gave about the custom. Anything custom assets, custom sound, we are into discussion with Epic and we're not know yet now. And so when we know the road we're gonna take on the custom anything, we'll tell you about it. And then it's gonna be a lot of question answered, and you'll have the limitations because any technology has pros and cons. But for now, it's the same stuff. Anything customizing the materials, customizing stuff that you can import, export, share with your friends and stuff under discussion. All right, guys. Of course, you can have questions for me for hours, I'm sure. It was an absolute pleasure to show you the build. We're very proud of what we have. I really hope you liked it. Don't hesitate to share your feeling also in the general, not just here, but also in the general, because some people couldn't be here. We have recorded this this stream, so we will put it on the I'll put it in an announcement later. Maybe not today. Today it's late in France. It's almost 8 p.m. I have family to feed and stuff. No, my wife is making food actually, but I have to feed the kids. And so you'll see that stream. You can rewatch if you've missed the beginning. But yeah, don't hesitate to go on the general or in a showcase. Showcase, what is it again? Showcase discussion, and hype the people. That was really cool. I hope you liked it and you're excited to have it in your hands. It's really gonna come soon. We're not kidding on this. I don't have a date again. If people missed, because I talked about this in the very, very, very beginning, so I'm gonna say it again. Beta is coming up, like we said, by the end of the month. For VIP is almost certain, and then 1-2 weeks after, we're gonna release it to any backer. That might slide onto July, but if it slides into July, it's gonna be mid-July at most. So we're really talking like now in 1 month, everyone has it for sure. So that's basically the timeline. Again, I prefer to under promise over deliver. So if it comes sooner, there's no reason for us to keep it to ourselves. We'll have it. You'll have it. First mail you receive probably could be tomorrow. Shit. Vince is not here. I can say it. Maybe tomorrow you'll receive a first email. Maybe it's not gonna be tomorrow. Don't quote me on this. You'll receive a first email, and it's just for you to create the accounts. Don't be too excited. There's nothing to download. Lamis, you're betraying me. Lamis, stop hyping. Don't hype. Don't hype. No. So tomorrow, first email, it's just for the accounts, guys. I swear to you, there's no beta to download right now. It's just that we want to take this thing baby step. So we do the accounts and stuff. The website is online right now. As you can see, it was down for a week or two because we had a team working on the on the accounts. And so this is going to be soon. And after second email is going to be the beta. It's going to be like, all right, guys, you can download it. You can. All right. First email is tomorrow dash. Okay, I will not to stuff like, don't quote me on this later on. You're all going to betray me. Okay. All right. Pleasure to have take this time with you guys. You're still 118. That's really good. I'll talk to you next time, and I will do stream like this in the future with pleasure when the need arises. All right. Have a good day, night, evening, whatever you are into right now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.